All right, so let's move over to Netflix again. So, Summer, if you don't mind, you could talk about All of Us Are Dead. I
Yes.
only saw the trailer of it, and it looked really awesome and really kick-ass. This is a South Korean zombie series as well. But just a couple things. It's just that the length of the episodes are just, it's 12
Mhm.
episodes. Each one kind of clocks in about an hour. That intimidated me to the core. I was just like, I don't know. I don't really know if I have the time to check it out, in time for this. But I really did want to see it though. And then also too, because of the success of Squid Game, to this day, I still wondering how that even, like, I know why it's successful, but I'm still
Mhm.
in amazement at how successful this show is, right? To the
Yeah.
point
Right.
that I think it might get like a SAG award or whatever it is, nomination, I believe it is, or Golden Globes. Maybe it did. I know well, Golden Globes passed, but SAG awards is coming, right? But I
Right.
think it might get or probably already has a nomination in that, right?
Who then the main villain guy got out something?
Uh,
Um, I think
in
so.
I think so. Yes, I
Okay.
think he did. Yeah.
Right. I keep thinking it was him or the old man. I think it's
I
either
think
one of the
I think
two
the
who
the
No,
who
the
old
got
main
man.
villain.
nominated.
Yeah, the old man.
Yeah, the old
All
man.
right.
No,
No, no, no, right.
he was the first, like, well, of his age first, and then I think first South Korean to be nominated
Okay. Wow.
for,
All
is it
right.
an Emmy or something like that? I saw something pop up
Again,
with him. Yeah.
I think it's SAG or you're right. Maybe it's Emmy. I'm not too sure. Not too sure. Right. I'm just studying. I'm just waiting for the Oscar nominations, which might be in a couple weeks time. Whatever. Moving on. Right. But yeah. Point is, we people kind of looking for that next breakout hit there from South Korea, right?
Mhm.
Because yeah, I mean, Squid
Yeah,
Game just
they're doing their
nominated.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they hot. They,
2021, right?
as I said, they're so hot right now.
Yeah, they so right now for real. Yeah, so yeah, the question is, well, would this, post-apocalyptic, South Korean zombie show be that successor to Squid Game? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But yeah,
Oh,
someone take it away. What is All of Us Are Dead about?
well, all of us are dead. It's for the anime fans out there. If you've seen High School of the Dead, it's kind of similar to that thematically. And we have a group of kids who, due to something done by a scientist who is now working as a teacher, this virus begins and slowly spreads until, I mean, it is a zombie movie, so everybody's getting bitten everywhere and it's just spreading all over. It actually leaves the school because one of the students is taken to the hospital and then, of course, attacks someone there. So it's just these group of kids now that are trying to survive, trying to make it through, hoping to get rescued. And of course, this is a South Korean story. So we have villains that are not as villainous as you think they are, heroes who may not be as heroic. You saw that
Right.
in Squid Game as well. And that's
Right.
Mm.
that's something they do very well from South Korean cinema, is that you get these very well developed characters like that. And it does take 12 episodes, but we get to the end and they leave room open for a second season.
Right.
Overall, guys, here's the thing. Now, in this world, you see it in the trailer. So I'm trying not to give away any spoilers, but you do see this in the trailer where one of the students comment that it's Train to Busan. So in their
Yes.
world, that movie exists. They
Right. Right.
they, they know, the kids are instantly calling the victims zombies. There is no wasting time for us with that element of it. But of course, this being a zombie movie that is existing it's supposed, let's say it's real, it's actually happening. You will have those who are doubtful, like the adults are taking a much longer to figure out what is happening. And the stuff that works here for me, I would say the action is very well shot. There are a few standout episodes for me. One of them, there's this long chase sequence between one of the survivors and a guy. Let's say a guy, another student is chasing him, trying to kill him, and he also has to escape zombies that are trying to kill him. And the two of them are just, it's a insane sequence. I think it's the best sequence action wise. But if you've seen Train to Busan, it's like that on a smaller scale, maybe closer to Hashtag Alive, another South Korean movie that was actually really good. I don't know if you guys saw that one, Hashtag Alive.
And
No.
Netflix
no,
had it as
we but
well.
I knew when it was out, but I didn't
Yeah.
get around to see it. But I saw your review of it. I know you gave it a glowing review. Yeah.
Yes. So the zombie makeup, I mean, I do love that the South Korean cinema, they do their zombies a bit differently. It's a lot about the body movements. You get a lot of people that are probably double and triple jointed. So you have
Right.
those
Yeah.
creepy moments, and then the sound design of the bones cracking, all that stuff works really well. And of course, we have more 28 days later type of zombies. So they do keep when the action sequences are happening, you do get that energy, you do get that adrenaline and those thrills out of those sequences. The quieter moments, I think the kids, for the most part, they do a good job with the roles. They're memorable and all of that. And I'm getting into a bit of negatives here now. I think one, well, as you said it, Matthew, the runtime is way too long, and they didn't need 12 episodes. It was very difficult. And due to that long runtime, what we get is a lot of fat and a lot of repetitiveness. And this is where I started to get a bit, oh God, do I really want to watch this? Because the sequences would play out unlike, yes, Squid Game, there's a game every single time, every episode. But these games are so different from each other that they do tend to keep your interest. Here, what we have is these kids would hole up in a room. They would discuss their feelings and what they're going through. They would look to move to another location. And of course, somebody has to die. And that happened over and over and over again. And the monotony of it really does start to wear on you a bit. Story-wise here, it's not a bad story. It does talk about that whole violence begets violence, because there's a reason why the teacher created the virus that I won't get into. But it does take a look at that whole that how long can you be bullied before you fight back, and the damage that does when you have people in authority that just sit around and they deny that what is happening is happening, you know. So they do have more of a deeper theme there. But overall, if you've seen Train to Busan, the emotion that they packed into that, and if you even hashtag alive, which a lot of people can relate to having to quarantine and all of that, this just feels kind of derivative of all of that. And it's a series where people know zombies exist, and yet they do certain things that, you know, it would get on your nerves. There's some plot holes here and some very foolish deaths. You know, when there's one thing, somebody is trying to save somebody, but then there's a whole other thing where they just seem to kill a character to try and make some emotional impact. My last thing to say about the negatives is that there were maybe too many characters in this, because when you have these many people in a building that is as large as this school, it's like a university campus. It was hard, and I don't think it was that well done, the editing or the pacing, I should say, maybe, where you have two characters that are stuck up on the roof, and we won't see them for like maybe half an hour. And then they would just jump to those two characters. And it was really hard to care about anybody else but the main group of kids when they try to have these little side stories of who is surviving what. So they do throw in a kind of a cool element when it comes to the virus itself and what it can do to these zombies. I'll just say this. They do talk about COVID, and they talk about how that virus has been mutated, making it so difficult to fight. So that plays into this. As a series as a whole, for me, it's a 6.5 out of 10. I think it's good, but it could have been much shorter. They could have done it in 8 episodes. They could have done away with some of the additional characters, and there's just some stuff here that doesn't fit together as well as it should. There's some comedic beats that some work, most don't. As a whole, I wouldn't say it's not worth watching, but it doesn't stand as tall as something like Squid Game does, or even, in my humble opinion, Hellbound, another South Korean series where I don't know if you guys saw
I think that came
one.
out late. That came out in October
Yeah,
of last year.
yeah,
I didn't get around to
right.
see it, but the trailer
That
looked
one
really, really
was,
dope.
yeah, that one is so. I mean, I think the story, the themes are really good. That one has a whole kind of religious thing to it. But yeah, this was fine. But overall, I don't think it's not gonna match Squid Game. If people go into it looking for Squid Game, or sorry to say, even looking for Train to Busan, just watch Train to Busan, because to sit through 12 episodes, it's not a bad series at all, but it's just not as fantastic as I think most people would go in hoping for. Comparing it against the fact that, well, it's coming out of South Korea, so it's going to be like Squid Game. It's going to be that quality. I don't think you'd be disappointed if you go into it looking for that.
All right. Well, thanks for the heads up, though. Maybe we might see it. Maybe we might check it out ourselves. Maybe, I don't know, in October, when you're like, oh, what new horror stuff we could watch for Halloween or this month.
Right.
I have a feeling that this is gonna pop up just because, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.